Hey guys, can you all hear me? I was having technical difficulties. I forgot I had my mic off. So, hi Susie D, hi Todd, Smurfette, Ginger Ninja, Diane Young. I haven't done a live in like forever, in a minute. Yeah. So I'm just gonna wait for y'all to come in. Hi Deanna. So I have a bit of a stomach headache from acid reflux. So it's probably not the best thing, but I do have some blueberries. Good morning, Salt Lake. It's actually 1:30 in the afternoon here, but hi, Voodoo Queen. How's everyone doing today? So I thought I would get on here and, well, first, we have some, Littlefoot and I went to the grocery store. And at the grocery store, I'm not going to play, let me see if I can get, I'm going to put my screen way up. I only took a very, very, very short video. Mind you, it is 4th of July weekend. So, of course, you know, things that are, it's going to be kind of a hit or miss because everyone's picking up their meats and stuff to grill out this weekend, I would imagine. But our grocery store hasn't looked like that. That's pork, but all the beef and the hamburgers, you know, it didn't look bad, but there was a lot of holes, especially. So then the beef, this past weekend, Bigfoot and I went, and the sirloin steaks were like $6, $7, $8, $9. Now they're $17, $18, and $21. So there's that. I'm gonna share my screen. And show you guys something that Trusting God was talking about a couple of days ago. So I decided, as he knew I would, to look into it. So I'm going to share my screen and read to you guys what's happening in Texas. After all the rains. So I'm just going to make sure you guys can see that. Okay. And we're going to do one of those. All right. So now we're full screen. So there's an invasive species of worm that has been found in Texas after recent rainfalls forced them out of their underground homes. But nobody is jumping for joy. The worms can be nearly a foot long. I was reading these suckers can actually get 20 inches long. And guess what these big worms eat? They eat earthworms. Yeah. Hammerhead flatworms prey upon the common earthworm, among other creatures. They can grow nearly a foot long. But I was reading, again, I showed last night on Prepping 101s after talking with Trusting God about this, that these suckers can actually get 20 inches long. So don't touch the worms with your bare hands. If you are a rebel, and do it anyway. Wash your hands with hot, soapy water and use hand disinfectant afterwards. All right? So if you guys see huge, huge worms, y'all need to be washing your hands. People who find the worms should put them in a sealed bag with salt or vinegar and freeze them overnight. Do not touch them. They are invasive. They came into Texas with the rains. So The final threat is that, like flatworms, slugs, and snails, they have the ability to transmit harmful parasites to humans and mammals. All right? All right, let's get rid of that. Apparently, I went bye-byes. Sorry, guys. I exited out of everything instead of just the window I was showing you all. So, yeah, that information came from Trusting God first on his channel. And then I talked a little bit about it on Prepping 101 last night. But I wanted to kind of dig deep into this because you may not think it's a big deal, but not only are these big, huge worms, flatworms, invasive, they carry disease, parasites that transfer to animals and humans. So if you come across them, wash your hands. And if you are trying to get rid of them, put them in salt, vinegar, in a bag, put them in the freezer, away from everything else, like triple bag that stuff. The problem is that with these worms, normal acre of grassland anywhere in the US, okay, grasslands, I'm not talking about deserts or anything like that. You know, you're healthy, where your cows eat, you know, there are 500,000 worms per acre for a normal, healthy, uncultivated land. Okay. Now you get these flatworms that are 20 inches freaking long up in there eating all the earthworms that are also carrying parasites, mind you. They're a different kind of worm. The animals eat those. And if they're eating the earthworms, that smaller animals can't eat 20-inch worms or a foot-long worms like rats and badgers and bears. And let's see, I have a list here. Fish, birds, weasels, pigs, raccoons, skunks, turtles, frogs, toads. I mean, there's a lot of things that feed upon worms. Even things that don't normally eat worms will once in a while eat a worm. So what happens? You get grazers out there and not having the earthworms, you don't get that irrigation that you normally would. They loosen up your soil, and we need those earthworms. And if you have things eating on the earthworms, and then the things that are eating on the earthworms carry parasites transferred, it's going to trickle down, guys. It's going to trickle down. And TJ Preps put out a video on her regular channel today about the grasshoppers. So I want you guys to go over and watch that. So if we think that we're seeing a problem now, this is, like I said, in Texas. I don't imagine earthworms traveling too far out of Texas, but some of your border, you know, people bordering Texas with all those rains, or, you know, people who were affected by those rains as well, may also have these worms. So I'm not going to be on here real long, but I'm going to share my StreamYard to see what you guys think about the worms and pesticides. So there's pesticides that the earthworms go around 6.5 feet into the ground, okay, down below, like deep. And they need around 65 degrees to be really healthy. That's why when you go fishing, you should always keep your worms in a cooler. Funny story. We went fishing on Saturday, and our truck stunk today. You want to know why? I left the cooler sitting in the truck, and I forgot a whole container of worms. So our truck smells like nasty worms that turn to mush. So I went out with a Lysol and I wiped down everything, took obviously the worms out. Hopefully that stink will go away soon. But yeah, it's a worm-eat world out there. Yeah. Worms eating worms. I never heard of such a thing. This is Hi Heroic Proper. Yeah, we're getting crazy weather, killer worms. Yeah, collapse. I mean, there's a lot going on, but we got to breathe and it's going to be fine. And the thing of it is, though, is now you're going to have to be careful of like touching, especially people who live in Texas, be careful around your bird feeders because the birds eating the worms can get a parasite on them, transfer it over to surfaces you touch outside. So wash your railings, keep your porches clean. When the kids are outside, make sure that you remind them to wash their hands. What I used to do for my kids when they were little is I would get one of those dish pans and I would fill it up with Dawn dish liquid and water, and I would spray the hose in it, and I would tell the girls, just go wash your hands in there, and then I would hang a towel out there and they could dry their hands. So yeah, the garden, I mean, everything you touch, you just want to be careful because those things like are really, really serious. When I was younger, I got worms as a kid, and I had been eating a lot of watermelon. So I told my mom I thought the toilet was kind of cool because things were green and pink and there was worms in there. So my mom's like, that's not cool, Heather. That's not cool. So she had to take me to the doctors. I had to go on medicine and get rid of worms that I had. And, we were clean. I mean, we just spent a lot of time at the beach and in the woods and on the farm. So what you gonna do? Again, if anyone wants to hop up here with me and chit chat, feel free. It's 1:42 in the afternoon here. The only thing I have left to do is sweep my floors, move the truck, and I have a couple of things that Littlefoot left on the table. And I'm going to fill up our hummingbird feeder. Hi, friend.
It's me.
It's you.
Real.
It's worms eat worms.
Well, that's what I was hearing. It's like the cannibal zombie apocalypse for the worms.
Yeah. It's weird.
Did you dig that song that I sent you last night?
Yes, and I sent it to both of my older daughters.
I don't know. I was just really feeling it.
Yeah, no, I totally get it. Yeah.
Hey, everybody in chat. Yeah, that's I don't know. It's really weird to me that of course there's so much stuff that's changed since when I was a kid. Back in the dinosaur age. Because I'm real old and stuff. So
you're not. That would make me old. If you're old, I'm old.
So, no, it's really weird that back in the day, when I was growing up, I mean, man, we played in the dirt and the mud and just I don't know, we drank out of water hoses and
got worms sometimes.
Yeah, and all that stuff. And I mean, I don't know, we grew up relatively healthy. I mean, some people are, have things that are wrong with them or whatever, but I don't know, I don't know. It's, I think that that hand wash stuff, that, the stuff,
too much hand sanitizer,
antiseptic stuff, you know what I'm saying?
It's not good to keep hand sanitizing all the time.
No, that alcohol and stuff that's in it and them chemicals in it wash off the good. You have a certain germs on your hands that are actually good stuff. It actually, it helps to kill certain things. Hey everybody, and so when you hand sanitize, you kill them germs as well, and you kill the bad germs, but you kill the good germs as well. Or I don't know the exact words for it, what I'm trying to say, but y'all get what I'm saying. And so when you sanitize your hand and your arms like that, and you get all the bad germs off and the good germs, well, when you go to touch something that is bad, there's none of them good ones on there to overpower the bad ones, if you know what I mean.
Well, like when I was a kid, I mean, it'd be nothing after a day of playing at the beach, and we don't have beaches like what are those ones like the spring break beaches? We don't have
Right.
those kind of beaches. Our beaches are on top of the mountain or the lower part of the mountain or in between two mountains, and we have like forest things happening at the same time. Like they may bring in some sand, but we get dirty. And I mean, yeah, you wash your hands off in the water, and
Right.
we don't normally get algae blooms, but I mean, there's certain bodies of water that have had them, like the
Right.
blue and green algae. Certain algae are really dangerous. You're not supposed to swim,
Yes.
right, to animals and people. So, but the thing of it is, though, is I used to eat a sandwich with my,
Hmm.
I mean, you get sand in your teeth while eating a sandwich,
Hmm.
and your chips that you had with your sandwich, and your fruit that you had with your sandwich at the beach or in the woods. You ate dirt.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I agree totally.
yeah.
Shoot, we used to go swimming in old creeks and stuff back, back in the day. I mean, just we had this one creek that we swam in for years, and people swam in it for years, and come to find out, like it was years later, we found out that there were three different houses that were. What's up, Gardner Josh? We found three different houses, or they found three different houses way up the creek that their sewer was running straight into it,
Hmm.
and everybody used to go swimming in that creek.
Yeah, but
Hey.
it's good for you to get. You need to be out in the dirt, especially kids. It's where you
Mhm.
build your immune system, right?
Yeah, I'm
But but when you
making.
get invasive things that aren't normal to where you're, um, not sure what that was. Um, when you get invasive things that your body's not used to that actually care you full well known carry certain things, like you don't go around touching those white caterpillars that are all fuzzy and cute and look like they're something out of fantasy land, because they can make you sick.
Yeah. Well,
It's being aware of like certain things, but yeah, you gotta get dirty.
you know what I do nowadays?
But
I drink that fuel injection cleaner.
you
You know,
what?
I'm kidding.
Oh my goodness,
I knew that would catch you off
I'm gonna
guard.
get in
You
trouble.
was like, you was like, do what?
Yes, I said sandwich. It's a thing here. It's a sandwich. I know it's a sandwich.
Yeah, we say sandwich,
It's
and
a sandwich, yeah.
in fact, when my son was young, he loved sandwiches, man. I mean, he ate them all the time, and he called them Sam ups. And he was like, "Would you make me a Sam up?" Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Now I wished I wouldn't have fed him so many Sam ups. He's big.
yeah.
He grew up. He's bigger than I am. He told me, he's all like, "Dad,
Yeah.
what do you
Um,
think? I'm bigger than you." And I was like, "Okay."
this is actually something I don't believe in, the whole detoxing thing. You drink your water, you drink your cranberry juice, a little bit of vinegar, apple cider vinegar, um, you know, maybe some baking soda if you have an upset stomach, or, you got some things going on, some coconut oil. But I don't believe in any kind of crazy enemas or charcoals or any weird stuff. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me or what's right with me sometimes, but I just don't believe in all that douching your body out from everything sometimes. I mean, back off
Yeah,
things. Don't eat a lot of red meat all the time, but it's not going to hurt you if nothing is good in large quantities, right? Yeah.
right. Well, yeah. I mean, I've always just taken vitamins and
Mhm.
try to eat decently healthy at
Yeah.
times,
Like
and
blueberries and apples.
yeah, well, I and the main thing is that, you know, I spend a lot of time outside in the sun, you know, and I believe the sun you know, I mean, even, you know, people that fight depression and stuff, you know, they recommend you be out in the sun. You know,
Yeah.
there's a reason for that. You know,
Yeah.
it's, you know, they recommended that for years, and you know, it just, you know, it's healthy for you.
Yeah. Everything in moderation. That's right. That's why I got like a little tiny monkey dish full of blueberries.
A monkey dish.
A monkey
So,
dish. Yeah. They're called something else now, but it's always going to be a monkey dish to me. Um,
well,
yeah, apple vinegar or apple cider vinegar is really good. Yeah, just do it safely because there's some stuff going on right now. And I actually saw it not too far out of our community where some people from our community were. They were talking about some really not healthy things to do to your body. Like that's very invasive, you know, just regular juices and more water and backing off some heavy things can clean
right.
your body out naturally. Don't be going and putting weird stuff in your body to make yourself
You know,
get sick. That's not okay.
really and truly, you know, I I keep some Gatorade around here, and you know, I also keep Pedialyte
Hmm.
here.
Did you
You
know
know,
Gatorade is the same thing as Pedialyte? It just tastes better. Our
pretty.
pediatrician said Powerade and Gatorade's better than Pedialyte.
Hmm. Well, I keep some Pedialyte around here, but I'll tell you, when I've had a day, you know, where I've been out sweating or whatever, or you know, even for those that drink alcohol, you know, if you drink a little much alcohol, when you get up in the morning, if you'll drink you a nice glass of Gatorade to start out, it will replenish them, you know, the
Electro,
things that you need, electrolytes and
electrolytes.
such. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it's good stuff. Liquid IV powder. I've never heard of that.
I've
That's
never heard of
probably
that.
the electrolytes, right, Billy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hang on. Speaking of, I was.
Hi, Lazarek. Hi, Jillian.
I do. I do every day, you know, drink some Gatorade. You know, this is like what I drank yesterday. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah, and
And
then
I,
follow
you
with
know,
like water.
yeah, I drink water the rest of the time, but I always drink some Gatorade every day just because I'm outside messing around or in here messing around and, you know, get sweaty. And
Yeah, yeah. It's
yes, some of them do have a lot of sugars in them. You
yeah,
have to be careful about that. And that's why I was saying, even on that video that I made here a while back about, you know, Gatorade's not your friend. And I wanted to, you know, I was trying to make a point of, you know, Gatorade not being your friend, as in don't be out there, you know, these commercials and stuff for it make you think that, you know, while you're out there working out and sweating and stuff, you should just be down in Gatorade, you know, and that's not true, you know.
yeah,
You know, you
yeah.
want to, you want, you know, it's okay to have a little Gatorade, you know, to replace some of them electrolytes, but you know, they make salt pills and stuff like that are fine to
Right.
take too, you know.
Well, I have a GI doctor, and he told me a long, long time ago, Gatorade is okay, but for every half a Gatorade you drink, you should be drinking a whole bottle and a half of water.
Yes.
Gatorade helps replace the electrolytes in your body from, you know, dehydration, being out all day, but it actually can help dehydrate you if that's all you're out there drinking. You have to have straight water.
We we did it when I worked out there on them gas well pads, you know, because it's just a giant gravel pad. There's no shade out there. They, you know, they clear off all the trees and everything. So it's just like this giant gravel pad, and it gets hot. And we had a rule that you had to have at least four bottled waters before you could have some Gatorade,
Hmm.
you know. And then you know, we kept them small Gatorades, and you know what I'm saying? The
Yeah, yeah.
starter,
You get
yeah,
it in the big cases of like, I think there's like 32 or.
yeah, something like that. And yeah, you could, and so we kept them, and you would have to drink, you know, the crew leader, which I was crew leader on a lot of the time, and but what we did was make sure that, you know, we would keep the Gatorade in a separate deal, and you know you couldn't go to the Gatorade ice chest until you've had at least 4 bottled waters,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
because the crew leader was responsible if someone fell out. So I made sure, you know, I would tell people, I want to see your 4 bottled waters that you've drank, you know.
Hey, Lily on the
Hey,
back.
Lily.
Love you
Lily.
too.
Man, Lily's got some cool property down there.
I've been trying to catch up on the videos, so I got unsubscribed and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And I found out I was unsubscribed to a few people like Jim S, you know, Radioactive Prepper, and he
Yeah.
had put out a video in 3 weeks. Well, yes, he did. It's because I wasn't getting notifications. Um, Pickle juice, yes, that's another thing. And you can actually, you know what? I make pasta salad with pickle juice. I kid you not. So we'll do like pickles and onions and we'll throw in whatever celery, and just use like I'll do eggs and slice them up, and I put pickle juice in it, and then I also do mayo. It makes a good salad, believe it or not.
Yeah, I mean,
Leah was picking on you.
she, well, I mean, she did have the swamp like right at her back door, you know, for a while.
Yeah.
So I can understand that part, but man, that's some beautiful. I love them, you know, the swamp. We've got some places here that we can fish that look like Louisiana. I mean, it's just cypress, you know, and it just oh swampy look. I love fishing and stuff like that.
Yeah, I
But
love fishing, except
but
for
yeah,
don't leave your worms in the truck. Did you hear that? Were you on here when I was talking about what I did?
uh-uh,
Went down to the water Saturday or Sunday. I think it was
uh-huh.
Saturday. And the worms have been sitting in the truck in the cooler since
Mm.
Saturday. And it's been 100 degrees here.
Oh yeah.
And Miss Sally opened up the truck door this morning when we left to go into the out. And let me tell you what. Ugh.
Stinky.
Yeah, so when we got back home, unfortunately, we had to deal with it. Um, we left the windows open, but yeah, I Lysoled it and wiped everything down. It's just a stench. It'll go away.
Yeah, it'll go away, but boy,
Oh, worms
it's
stink.
stinky for yeah.
And then I got up and I was like, the pond was really low. And I'm like, what is going on today?
Mhm.
And Bigfoot had called me and, or not called, he texted me to tell me that I would need to fill the pond back up. So the wind last night with the storms got, the water was blowing out from the fountain,
Mhm.
and the fountain tipped and was draining the pond. So we lost about, I don't know, probably 5-6 inches of water. So I had to fill it back up. Okay, Lee. Lazarek says that she's gonna go get some stuff done. Love you too.
Well, I worked till pretty late last night in my house doing. I'm going through a bunch of clothes and stuff like that. You know, got a bunch of stuff I don't. You know, I never wear.
Yeah. Hey, guys, clothes. Do you know where your local domestic violence is, like Catholic Charities or any place like that? Okay.
We've
Take
got.
yours and your son's clothes. People don't think about this, that women that get out, they
Mhm.
have 14 and 15-year-old boys that are man size, some 13-year-olds.
Mhm.
And people don't think about bringing men's clothes and boys' clothes to women's shelters.
Mhm.
Those moms need that for their boys, because
Right.
these boys are big boys. So if you guys could take your clothes, all clothes, to domestic violence, shoes, socks, everything. There's shortages in boys' clothes, but men's clothes. People don't think about men's clothes for a domestic violence women's shelter, but these women have big boys.
Bye, Becca.
Bye, Becca.
See you, Craig. Yeah, so, you know, yeah, they're the battered women's shelter, and also we have a what we call it's called a burnout closet,
What's
and
that?
it's at our church, and so it's for you can donate clothes there as well, and so like when someone's house burns down or whatever, we have that burnout closet, and they can go and pick through and pick out some clothes and stuff, and it's all free,
Yep.
it's all donations, and it'll it might not be the shirt you really care about wearing, but at least you got a shirt to wear, you know what I'm saying, until you can get back on your feet. Yeah, it was funny because we've always give away stuff, and my mother-in-law would be like, why don't y'all have a yard sale, y'all could make a lot of money, and I'm like, yeah, but I can give this to the battered woman shelter or to the burnout closet, and it's a lot, you just seem to get more out of it, you know what I mean.
Yep.
Personally, I do.
Yep. I actually just showed a
Morning,
little.
Jason.
Our meat. It might be because of 4th of July. However, the meat last week that was $6, $7, and $8 is now $17 to $21 today.
I went down there the other day, and our meat was $16 to $17 a pound.
A pound?
Yeah. So you get a steak, and the steaks would, because they're a little over a pound, and some of them, they were, 18, 19, $20 for one steak.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, good Lord, man. There was, I'm going to tell you, Wally Mart, it's, I don't know. It's some of the stuff that they're doing, they're changing our store around and all that. Oh, excuse me.
Oh, we've got this really cool cat.
Oh my goodness. Ian!
Hey guys, good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good morning from the Pacific Northwest, FEMA Region 10.
I noticed a lot of people are still saying good morning already, and I'm like, I'm thinking to myself, it is 2:04 here in the afternoon. Mm-hmm.
Yep, only 11:04 here.
So, Tin, are you just getting here?
Yeah, I'm just getting here. Sorry.
Okay, so we talked about big worms eating earthworms and the effects that's going to have on everything. And then we were talking about pesticides and meat. And we were also, though, with parasites and this, that, and washing your hands and keeping yourself clean. We were, Backwoods mentioned about you got to be dirty, too. You need to build your immune system. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like eat a sandwich on the beach with your sandy hands.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, let your own immunities build up to things.
Yeah. Yeah, immunity is important. I don't think people have the immunity as they used to.
Because of the yucky foods.
That and everyone's sanitizing.
Man, the other day, my son
that's
playing football with his friend, and they were passing the ball, and the ball caught his tip of his finger and bent it all the way back. So we had to go get an x-ray on it because, man, I mean, it's swole up bad. And my wife was just worried that, and sure enough, it actually did chip a bone, his bone chipped. And hey, Magic. And it, anyway, so when we was because, in a small town, the doctor's office doesn't have x-rays. So you have to go to the hospital to get an x-ray. And so we was up there, and this lady come in, and I'm not kidding you. she walked up there, because they got this great big giant squirt bottle of hand sanitizer. She walks up there and wipes her hand, just does this, wipes the bottle, right? Then squirts this big old glob of this stuff in her hand. And she's just like doing this.
Like she's showering in it.
Yeah, and she's washing her face off,
Ah.
and this mask on, and I'm looking at my son, and I told my son, I was like, that lady right there is gonna die.
It's
He
not.
said, what?
That's not okay.
I was like, you can't. No, you're not. I was like, don't ever let me catch you. I told my son, I said, don't ever let me catch you using sanitizer like that, because it's not good for you.
No, it's not. No. I mean, those really clean people would have a fit. Like, I'm just sitting here between the two couches in the living room. Okay. We have this like big stand with a chessboard sit out here, and I've got some candles and rocks, and like, I don't wash these when I bring them in the house. Like, I collect these things and put them in with rocks. I mean, some people, those real clean people, my grandson found a snail shell out in the woods, and he put it in the dish. We didn't wash it. We just. So
like right there where you're sitting, did you like bring dirt from outside and put it down there so you've got a little dirt spot to sit in?
Yeah. I'm sitting at the end of the Chase Lounge, and we got dirt and plants in the house, and I got a dead fly in my window sill right now.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's bad.
I know.
Like the germs and diseases are probably rampant.
Yeah, but those things sit there for like a whole week until I clean it once. I clean it once a week. I'll take everything out of the windowsill, wash it all down, wash the window, because the dog nose art is always in the windows.
The thing about the sanitizer is like, my wife keeps, we all actually keep some in our vehicle.
Yeah,
and when you come out of the grocery store or whatever, there's nothing wrong with take a little squirt of it, just real quick, and that's all you need to do. Just real quick, just a little small amount, and that's all you. It's okay to use sanitizer in that kind of way, but these people are like taking baths in this stuff, man, and it's like, what are y'all doing? Hello, everybody.
Magic Angel, you're muted. Hi.
Hello. I was waiting for him to finish talking. I didn't want to interrupt.
I'll be quiet. I talk more than women do sometimes.
You don't have to be quiet.
Yeah. What are you doing, Tim?
Oh, sweet. Really?
Hi.
Hey.
I just saw you just a few minutes ago.
You did.
I know. I have a question for Big Feet.
Backwards, how do you feel right now?
How do I feel right now?
You're surrounded by beautiful women.
I know. That's why I come up on these live streams, man.
You're
It's always I'm surrounded by beautiful, intelligent women. How can my day be bad?
Yeah, I grew up
There's a section between a fairy and a cat.
Well, as long as y'all ain't like in one of them bad moods and like just hating on me kind of thing, to where y'all just want to beat up on a guy, then I would X out. But other than that, how could my day be bad? Right. Surrounded by beautiful, intelligent women.
Usually when I get like that, I usually want to kick my own ass, not other people. So I
don't have to worry about that so much anymore.
Or using it after the drive-through money. Yeah, money's different. Everything has been on that.
Yeah, that's true. Money's dirty.
Yeah. But other than that, like, don't be crazy. I do the same thing. I keep the hand sanitizer in the truck, and Bigfoot's got one in his vehicle that he uses for work, and then and I also have a bottle of water. So after I put the hand sanitizer on, I pour water on my hands and just kind of get rid of it. I use my hair. Right. Actually, this is a great towel. Do you agree? It's a great towel.
Like, it totally absorbs water.
Yeah,
like a sponge. I've got it.
I don't have one.
I'm right there with you.
I don't have enough
Mine's
to.
blue.
I like your blue hair. Actually, you know what? I got green. Let's see. It's not mold. See the green?
Oh
It's
yeah,
It's like,
I see it.
yeah, it's teal.
Now you're taking this dirtiness a little too far. You got mold in your hair.
Well, no, it's teal and well, see, there's purple. It's like a
It
lavender.
does look like mold.
Yeah, and then there's the mold color. Yep. See, it's green
Still looks
though.
good,
It's
though.
teal. Thanks, but you know, if I want it to show, it can show. If I don't want it to show, it doesn't. So.
Kind of reminds me of what was that lady that during Halloween that had the white streaks on the sides of her hair? Was that who was that? Who was it that did that?
Who did what? This with the streaks?
Yeah, she had at Halloween. You always see her. She's got black hair with the white streaks in it, in the front, right there on the sides.
Cruella?
Elvira.
Elvira.
Elvira. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, I remember Elvira.
Crust, you're supposed to be sleeping. What the heck are you doing?
Trusting God. If you're done sleeping, get up here. Because so I did the research that you told me about, and we talked about it, and I had an article up here about it, and yuck.
And he and I was talking, and I was told that Big Feet could help me because of what I want to do. I was wanting to take a screwdriver and wrap like end of a cord or extension cord on the end, and then use it to get like worms, make worms come up out of the ground.
Oh, you use a battery. Okay, so you flood your yard with water, and then you put the soap down. And I like your new icon.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Following me everywhere.
And so you take your jumper cables with your battery and you just stick them to your yard, but you have to be wearing rubber boots. Like, you have to be safe about these things. And you can actually make the worms come up.
Yeah, see, well,
Interesting.
when I was younger, my mom's husband, anyway, he took like an end of an extension cord and cut it off and took the wires and wrapped it around the.
Oh no, don't.
No, please don't do that. My husband would not be okay with that. Mm-mm.
No.
I tried telling her, but she wouldn't listen to me this morning.
Hey, I just asked. I haven't done it. That's what I remember him doing. That's all I said. Fast.
Don't do that.
Hi, Jason. Susie
I guess I
Diesel.
could run some stakes in the ground and then hook it up to a battery.
No.
Ba-boom, ba-ba-doom, ba-ba-mow,
I'll be
mow.
honest with you, okay? If you want worms to come up, all right, you take your potato peelings. You know those pots that you buy your plants in, the little pots.
Yeah.
Okay, don't throw those out. Save those suckers. I don't care where you save them. Put them under your house for all I care. Save those. But anyways, if you pack those full of dirt and compost things and just set them in your yard. Put them in the woods or outskirts of your yard, anywhere where there's dirt.
Mm-hmm.
The worms will crawl up those pots and hang out in there. And then you go and you wait a few days and you go out and you empty them and you collect all your worms. It works for us.
I'm very lucky. I have.
to do an experiment, and that's just what I remember him doing. And I just was asking if it was safe, but
That's not safe.
You're talking about.
You have rabbits and moles and other critters that they don't like that. There's even ground owls.
Well, the thing you got to understand is when you plug into a house and use an extension cord like that, you're getting a completely different voltage than with a 12-volt battery, and the amps that comes from your plug-in can kill you quickly if you stick that in the ground. And not to mention, you can blow circuits and stuff in your house. You could cause a fire. I know Bigfoot could tell a lot better than I can about this, but I can just tell you from what I know, that is very, very unsafe. to do that with the extension cord, you know,
Don't ever cut off extension cords.
with electricity. Yeah, don't.
Hey, you
I
guys.
Yeah.
So Fox 10 doesn't have much less better to do things today, I guess, and they're filming live right now. Bill Cosby's released from prison.
Yeah, Don Light just put it up. Actually, I got it done. I just pushed
Well,
the screen. That's crazy. I have
you know, Bill
Unbelievable.
Cosby. Yeah, I mean, I seen some stuff about it earlier, and some people were upset and throwing a fit about it, and I'm like, man, that old dude, man, he ain't he like nearly blind, and
He's got like one toe in the dirt for the big dirt nap.
yeah, I mean, you know,
my flinging back.
he's been in prison for a long time. He did wrong. You know, nobody cares about him any longer. You know, let him out and live a few days, you know, in a home or whatever. Who cares, you know, about him? I mean, really.
It's a magic angel in 10. What y'all up to today?
Hey, Lake Fairy, I'm gonna bounce. Sorry, I don't mean to be rude. I got TJ Preps on the phone.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
but
So today at 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock.
hang on.
Are you Central? 10? Is that what it's called?
I'm Pacific Standard.
Pacific Standard. Okay, so 5 o'clock Eastern, 2 o'clock Pacific Standard. Yeah. So
I'm
5 o'clock
Central.
Eastern. That's how I can remember it. TJ Preps and 10 are doing a live today.
Ooh, yay!
You
I'll
guys
be there.
I was invited too, but we'll see because it's usually our dinner time. Bigfoot's coming home, but I'll try.
Okay.
10, you'll
Okay,
have
I'll
to send me a message and remind me.
Okay, I'll see you guys in a little while. Love you.
All right.
Remember,
10, love you, 10.
Bye.
So yeah, there's that, and then also go watch TJ's grasshopper video. And she also put out another video on her TJ Knows channel. I didn't finish watching that one yet because I didn't notice it until after this, and I literally had 3 minutes just to get here. But she went over and did a video on TJ Knows, and I really strongly suggest. I do know what it's about, but I'll watch it so she has her hours. But yeah, I strongly suggest y'all go watch that one too.
Yeah, I got both of her
Yeah,
channels.
you don't have to do that, woman. But thank you. It's very much appreciated. I gotta put my youngest through another year of homeschool, and this year the school's not helping, so it's going to be all out. Foot and I putting her through homeschool this coming year.
Holy cow. They're
Yeah.
not helping at all?
No,
Wow.
so she'll be completely out of the school system. She'll be completely homeschooled in September. It's going to be okay. So if I've been a little quiet, a little stressed, it's one of the reasons I've been a little quiet and stressed because it's a lot. So
There's some
Oh.
internet-based homeschools out there you can use, right? Or are you
Yeah.
going to do it all yourself?
Yeah, I'm going to be using I'm going to be using one of those, but we're going to
Isn't there a free one called K-12? I see it advertised all the time
It
here in
is
Montana.
It is not free. That thing is like
It's not free.
$12,000 a year.
Why are they advertising it as free?
I called
Sketchy.
$12,000. I'm like, yeah, no, I
Good
don't.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, we can't afford that. We cannot.
That's crazy.
And you have to buy their tests too. So all the tests that they take, certain ones, you have to buy them.
Wow.
I was told
They're anywhere from like
and everything.
$15 to $20 to $30 for a test.
So did
I'm
you
making
find
big
one that
salads
you're going to
from listening.
use?
I just found out Monday that this is what we're going to be doing. So I'm still trying to. I'm in the process of trying to process everything that just happened.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm one of those ones. I need to process things first before I jump into. All right. So I already had all this researched, and I found out the school that we were going to be using is no longer there. They're gone. It was easy peasy homeschooling.
Uh-huh.
It's gone.
They went out of business.
Either that or they're just not they're not legit anymore, or they're not.
Okay.
I don't know.
They're
I
not
don't know.
accredited.
I don't know. Or like you said, I think they might be just gone out of business. So it really sucks. So now I'm going to have to go all over again and do this all over.
If there's anybody that's in Tennessee that homeschools their kids that can get around you have to have a GED to homeschool, let me know, because I have a friend that really needs some info on that.
What is it that you need?
Homeschooling.
You need a GED to homeschool?
Yes. Yeah, something like that. In
Huh.
Tennessee, you do, I think. And I've looked up different avenues for her to get around that, where you don't have to. I don't know. It's weird. It's really weird, but it's in Tennessee, so. And
Wow.
she's wanting to homeschool her kids. I mean, she's got one that's a senior and one that's a freshman or junior, I think. I'm not sure, but she wants to go ahead and.
I think that's so wrong. Isn't that kind of degrading? And I don't know, just they're your children. You can school them as long as they get their core classes and that they're doing well. What does it matter what a parent has or doesn't have?
How can they prove what a parent has or doesn't have anyway? So many of us lived in different states when we went to school. Like there's no record of any of that.
True. Yeah, the school that I went to don't even exist anymore. They closed it all down and built a whole new other school because
exactly.
It was like, yeah, it was like the school was here and all this big community. Well, they kind of outstretched the community, you know, and started building where it was just all woods, you know, and so it was a long ways for these people over here to come to that school. So they kind of built one in the middle of all of it, you know, to make it easier for everybody access. And yeah, so my school don't even exist anymore.
Yeah, Kenny, that's the advertisement I was talking about, the K through 12.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know, unless they changed it or something. But the last time I called was 2 years ago, and they told me that it was $12,000.
Wow.
Oh, we got somebody down here. Hi, Tanya.
Hi.
How are you?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, I have a story not about worms, but maggots.
Maggots.
One maggot, Heather. One maggot. I don't know where it came from. I'm clean, but one night I was putting away the trash at the end of the day, and there was one maggot on the inside of the trash can. I said,
Ew.
I got to find out where that thing came from.
Well, they've come
There
from
was not. I searched
Yeah, they could
thoroughly
fly.
everywhere in my kitchen. There was no food waste. There was nothing. Only paper and one maggot. Well, the next day that sent me to friggin' rockin', I'll tell you what. Because I just put the stand phone down, said the hell with this. I gotta start cleaning up my house, which is already clean. But then I did that for like almost 2 weeks, trashed my hands, trashed my whole body, did what I needed to do, and I'll tell you what, if people think that this is going to be an easy transition, I'm here to tell you that I put myself fully on board and it is not easy. It is a literal, physical, mental, and emotional, and everything else hell. And I think that we need to experience this before we can have the reward we're all searching and moving toward. And so after all that, I came out and I sat on my beautiful private deck, and then there were fornicating flies landing on me. And I thought, what the heck is this? So more cleaning up. I'll tell you what, more cleaning up. Then I went inside, and there was a damn leech on my clean floor. It's like, what the heck, God? Please tell me what. I'm clean. I'm clean. I'm clean. What the heck are you? What are you trying to say? And so it's like, okay, sit down, shut up, grab a pen and paper. And I couldn't write anything for sure because what am I to write? You know, it's like, I get it, Jesus. I get it, my beautiful, wonderful God in heaven. I get it. Clean up. And it ain't easy to do that, people. It's not easy. You're going to go through a literal, physical, mental, emotional, and every which way hell before you can get set free. And I'm not set free, but I'll tell you what, since I've let go of so many things, electric, heat, everything, I've only got cable and this device to go, and I'm done. You know, it's crazy. My phone is manipulating me into saying things that I don't want to say, and it takes pictures of me when I'm naked in the shower.
Well, why you got your phone in the shower?
Yeah, don't bring
I'll
it
tell you
there.
what, people. No, and I want to please encourage everyone. Please do not take your phone or any device into your, let's say, bedrooms. Because you know what? They can hear and see everything you're doing, including pleasure. And I don't want anybody to get zapped like that because that doesn't feel very good when you're being vulnerable like that for some friggin' institution to be spying on you.
Well, I mean, I mean, everybody's been knowing that your phones and your TVs and all that stuff is listening to you for years now.
Yes,
Mhm.
sir. I've known it for many
You,
more years. I've
you
known it
shouldn't
for many
be.
years than most, and I'm sure trusting God also knows what I'm speaking of. So,
Hmm. Well,
Backwoods, I just want you to know, man, could you please lighten up? I have much respect for you, sir. I honestly do. I have respect for all of you. You all have something to contribute.
Right.
well, thank you. We all do. We all matter. Our
The thing
opinion.
about me, Heather, is that I'm a very private person, and I have been 30 plus years on my own, and it will be actually in July that I've been 3 years committed to YouTubers such as yourselves. And so, 30 plus years on my own and then stepping out 3.5 years, I've learned lessons I don't want to learn, but I needed to, you know,
Like
and
fairy.
it's
Yes,
not fun.
magic.
It, it is not fun, people. It is not fun. This is not a game. And backwards prepping, I appreciate you, sir, for all that you are showing us that you're doing and preparing yourselves and your family for. All of you, I appreciate all of you. It's just that I can't do this anymore. I cannot be manipulated by a damn coax cable.
Okay. Magic, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
It says right here, under the Tennessee homeschool law, there's 3 options, and one of the options is to be independent homeschooled. You must have at least a high school diploma or GED in order to teach your child
Right.
in
That's
homeschool.
yeah, that's for
Yeah.
if you're making your own curriculum, right?
I guess. I mean, I
Yeah,
didn't
then
read
there's online schools too, and everything is done
Don't
online
do it.
with a tutor.
Don't do online. Don't do online with your children, please. They're being indoctrinated and you don't even know it. You think they
Now,
aren't, but
this
they
is
are.
Kenya.
Please believe me.
We're talking about homeschooling. It's
Yes,
different.
ma'am.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
different. Yeah, we're not talking about state. Yeah. Um, but
So
yeah,
please teach me, do you create your own curriculum?
well, you
Do you
have to
create your
present.
own curriculum for your children?
Magic Angel's talking about if you do your own thing, you have to have a high school diploma or a GED.
Okay.
See, and I don't think they can afford the online schooling. I think she's wanting to
No.
wanting to do like independent, but yeah, I don't think she's got her GED or something like that. I'm not exactly sure, but I think that was the problem.
Well, I'm wondering though if she got a tutor to help or a family member to help. like a aunt, an uncle, a grandmother? Would that help? Would that work?
I don't know. I don't live in Tennessee, so I don't know what. I mean, this is just that's where they live, and that's what I was trying to find something for. She said she's been looking, but I know you can. It says church related school or distance learning school. Those are the three options, and
Right.
I was trying to help her find something that they can afford to do because they can't afford a whole lot. But anyway,
Did you, I'm sorry, Tanya, but we were talking about homeschooling when you come up here because there's a lot of people looking into that right now, including myself, because we
Yes,
are
ma'am.
not going through the school system as of this year and coming this September. So what you were reading, Magic Angel, is that Tennessee, you have to have a high school or a GED diploma.
yes, in order to teach your children.
May I please ask a question?
Sure.
I'm familiar with Amish and Mennonites here because they live in our communities. But what I'm not familiar with about them is how they actually teach their own children. Because I think what we know of Mennonite and Amish peoples and such, that they don't conform to the social
world.
norms that others do.
Right.
So my question would be to anyone who would know, how do Amish and Mennonite people teach their children?
Okay, so I can't speak on the Mennonites. However, I can speak on the Amish here. What they do is that they have somebody from the state check, but basically they're a Christian-based schooling, and they do have a special schooling for Christian-based children for families.
Really?
Yes, and also they take in consideration that most of them don't. Well, Amish have I forgot what it's called exactly because I'm having a brain cramp. At a certain age, all Amish children are allowed to go out into the world to experience it for a week or two, or maybe even.
It's a German word, Heather.
What is it?
Yeah. It's a German word. I can't say it because my mouth is dry, but it's a German word, which means you go out and see, then you come back, and you know.
I think it's like 16 or 17 that they do that.
Yeah,
They turn them out into the world, and then it's their choice whether they come back or not.
But the schooling is Christian based, and they have their own teachers that teach in the home, or they actually, some Amish people have a building that they have built for just that, like at the
May I
church.
ask another question, please, since you know about Amish?
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Do the Amish children learn from any institutional or governmental entities? Does anyone know?
Do they learn what the government teaches them? Is that what your question was?
Do Amish children learn curriculum from any institution or governmental entities other than their own community, and having a teacher come in? But does it have anything to do with institutional learning?
No.
No, not at all.
No.
Okay. Because I have a great philanthropic practice here in my community, and with those that free money, which isn't free, as we all know, I'm just putting it towards programs to move children forward. I don't give cash. I put, a fund. I have a fund, for children to, learn a better way, for lack of a better word, and not be indoctrinated while they're trying to learn, for crumb's sake.
Right. Well, a Christian-based school and Amish schools are different. And Don Light was saying that Amish only go till 8th grade.
Yes, ma'am. I was there.
They're farmers, yeah. So they don't do the same kind of schooling as children of, I guess, the state or something like that, where you have a certain curriculum. They have a different curriculum.
Does everybody that has children think that we should follow the Amish or Mennonites when teaching our children? Does anyone agree with that has
I
children?
think that you need to keep God in your children and that children need to know God. I know that much. But as far as teaching them Mennonite or Amish, we're not Mennonite or Amish. So, no, I personally would not.
No, I'm not suggesting that you are either, Heather. It's just that we have Mennonites here, but not Amish, and I'm not familiar with how they school their children.
Right. Well, they're two separate things. Like our Mennonites here have cars and they buy, they gamble. So I wouldn't follow what they do because the Bible says that we shouldn't gamble. You know what I mean? And they're out there doing all kinds of stuff they shouldn't be doing. I wouldn't. But as far as Amish ways, like cooking and learning to live without power, I think it's important. But I think when it comes to schooling our children, I think it has to be a personal family decision within the family without the outsiders. Does that make sense? Tanya, you're muted.
Yeah, it makes sense to me.
Yeah, I think it has to be a personal decision. I wouldn't go doing what Amish or Mennonites do, just because we don't live in that. We don't live that way.
Yeah. I'm not suggesting that anyone does. I was just curious as to how those cultures of people teach their children, that to not be indoctrinated and keep the faith, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's most important that children find faith right now.
Well, that's the bad thing about it is that, it all boils down to the parents. If the parents are not teaching their kids properly, then, I mean, that's just kind of the way it is. We homeschool my son, but my wife is a school teacher and she does online school teaching. And so,
that was even before the cucaracha came, right?
Well, it was kind of, no, we started homeschooling this past year, and you gotta, your kids can't get indoctrinated if you're paying attention to what's going on. Is the short of what I'm trying to say, so I mean, I'm not, I see a school lesson that I think has something to do with some indoctrination, and I talk to my kids about it, and I tell them, look, this is not really the way we believe, here's, and you explain to them what the reason they're putting that in there, and so it's all about the parents, what are you doing to keep your kids from being indoctrinated, because the schoolwork is schoolwork. Well, schoolwork is schoolwork, and I'm gonna tell you something. If you don't take your kids to school, people will show up to your house. So you have to do some level of school. So, you can't just not school your children. So, you have to understand that, the indoctrination or whatever is just there. That's just the way it is. But you've got to teach your children. That's why you should always be involved in your child's work.
Yeah, that's how we do it backwoods.
Yes.
Our son goes to public school, and we go over all his schoolwork with him, and especially when it comes to science assignments and their social studies. He's only in third grade. He just finished third grade, so they're not learning really huge stuff right now, but we know it's coming, and we've already started doing that.
Not sure if you guys see that, but right over our mountain up there, we've got one heck of a wicked storm coming in. So if I lose power, it's not It's not me.
And we treat church the same way. So like we don't have expectations of our son learning about our faith in God from a Sunday school teacher or what he learns in children's Sunday school. That's our responsibility as his parent.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
so basically for him, children's church is just a time to learn more about fellowshipping. Obviously he's autistic and that's something he struggles with. So it's a good opportunity for him to learn what it's like to fellowship with other children his age in a church setting. But as far as the teachings, my husband and I do that. We
Have a
teach our
good
son.
Absolutely. I think, Tennessee, I would like to share with you that I'm a military brat, and I'm a career military brat for 18 years, and I grew up from as soon as I came off that island 30 miles out in the ocean. I came into a community of indoctrination by way of my stepfather in the military, and I was indoctrinated and screwed around, and I decided that the proper choice for myself in 1986 was to let go of that and start healing. And I'm like, I'll be 35 years in healing and sobriety in January, but once you get free of that indoctrination, or for myself or anyone else that grew up an indoctrinated child by the military, you are going to be pissed off that other children are being indoctrinated in school, in church, anywhere because of what we know right now is going on. And it's been a progression. I've been watching it because I have time. I don't have a family. And I've just been watching since probably 2016. My goodness, people, you would not believe it, or maybe you would.
Well, we would, because we've got children in the school system, so it is really, really hard. Like Backwoods and Magic and Freehandly made, said, you got to make sure you keep up on what your kids are learning. If they go to public school, that's absolutely okay, if that's what works for you and your family and your children. But you have to be up on what they're learning. Ask them, what did you learn in school today? What did you learn here, there? And, my daughter started coming home and telling me that she didn't want to watch CNN News in the morning. I called up the school and I'm like, why the heck do you have my girls watching CNN in the morning? They don't watch news at home. I don't want them watching it at school. They actually went to the library or to the office in the morning during those times. However, they still had to do certain assignments. So my girls ended up having to read an article from somewhere, and they had to write an essay. So that was the thing. They still needed a grade from them in that time. So child school. Yeah.
And I think more parents are now more aware of what's going on in the school systems now that we've been on lockdown than they've ever been before. And,
Yeah, that's
Well,
see, I wanted to say that this indoctrination thing, you got to understand, it's been going on for a long time, and even I've got a daughter in the mid-20s, and when she was in the 6th grade, they had her reading a book that she had to do a book report on, and I picked up the book and scammed through it. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of look and see. And do you know that it had a very graphic sex scene in that book?
What?
They didn't have pictures. They didn't have pictures, but
they did here.
No, it didn't have pictures, but the words that were spoken, and I mean, it was I came unglued, and I went straight to that next morning and walked right up in the principal's office, and I laid that book down, and I said, this book better get removed from the school instantly.
Damn straight, sir. Thank you.
I told him what was going on, and I showed him in there, and I said, do you really? I said, you need to bring that teacher in here and be asking this teacher, did you know this was in here, or did you not pay attention to the work that you give the kids? You know what I'm saying? And that teacher ended up getting in bad trouble and stuff. Good. And I told the principal, I said, you ought to be ashamed of yourself because you should know the curriculum as well.
Right.
You know, anytime
Thank you.
your teachers wants their kids to read a book, you know, you should go and at least look through that book and make sure the 6th grade girl is not reading this crap. She don't hear this stuff at home, and she will not hear it at school.
Absolutely.
Thank
There was a
Thank
cartoon
you, sir.
going around in New York. There was one school, and they were showing a nasty cartoon about telling children that it was okay to do certain things. It was like a normal thing, and it was very inappropriate. I'm not going to go into it in detail. I'd
I
like the
remember-
channel to stay
Yeah.
up. A lot of people, you remember, yeah, you
I
guys
remember what they were trying to pass off certain
Sick.
things as it was okay, and it was not.
So this is happening. Yeah, I'm gonna have to let you guys go because we've got rain going sideways, lightning hitting, and we do live under a bunch of trees. And I don't want my stream to shut down, and then I won't be able to end my own stream.
Oh, I can hear it.
I can hear that.
Oh yeah, it's right over
Yeah.
top of us. And
Well,
like I
stay
said,
safe,
It's
Lake.
coming this way.
yeah, it's all good. And
All right,
I
Ray.
It's
I
coming
love
this
you all
way.
and appreciate y'all and everyone that come
Love
up on
you.
panel and has been, you know, and thank you guys for your support about the homeschooling. I absolutely do support. We have a good school here. However, the past 2 years, it's just been a little bit different. It seeped to us, this whole thing that's happening in the schools, and it's really, really, really sad.
Yep.
And I have my own reasons that my daughter's been homeschooled since before all this started. But it was through the school. Now it's come to a point where they're no longer going to be doing that.
And if anybody has
please
any
make
more
a
information on
comment and-
Tennessee homeschool, what I can a friend, please let me know.
We just had a lightning hit right out
All
there
right,
at the
go.
wood line.
I'll see you, Lake.
Stay safe.
All right. I
Stay
love you guys.
Peace
and
out,
no,
people.
Rip, I have not been
Kill
eating
and well.
worms. All right.
Bye.
Bye.
Teach your children well, people. Thank you.
Yep. All right. Thank you guys.
Great.